Hey there, students. Good morning. It's Friday morning. I just spent some time looking at all of your social hierarchy assignments. There's like 75 kids that turned it in, and of you 75, only four of you are like spot on. So it's not the end of the world, but I just want to kind of go through and talk about where everyone's ranked. First of all, on your study guide, on the second page, you have a map of the town. This is pretty helpful. It talks about the courthouse, talks about where the Finches live. We know that Dill lives with Miss Rachel here. We know Miss Caroline, the teacher, lives with Miss Maudie. We know the Radleys live down here. Here's a school. The Cunninghams are out this way. Here we have the Negro settlement of cabins, and of course, we have the Ewells that live next to the town dump. And the reason why I show you this map is this map uh, kind of talks about the social hierarchy of Maycomb. All right, so we'll start with that, and so we go to our rankings. All right, and here's my rankings, and yours can be a little bit different, but there are some that are non-negotiables. So number one, the Finches are based off the social hierarchy. We're talking about the socioeconomic structure of the Maycomb in the 1930s. So a couple things about that. Number one, what marks the character social class? Their upbringing. All right, well, what they were raised into. All right, we know the Finches that they own a plantation. That Atticus is the first one in the family that's moved off the landing. All right, and we know that they have old money, and we also know that they live in town. All right, we have Miss Caroline, and so Atticus is number one. He's a lawyer. He's well educated. And all those things. Now, there's three in pink right here. Can kind of go in any order. I can see why you put the Radleys at four, the Radleys at two, whatever it is. But we have Miss Caroline. We know that she's the teacher in town. She doesn't own a house, but obviously she's educated. She's from the north, but there's definitely a lot to be said for that, right? We have Dill. Now, we don't know a ton about Dill. We're learning more about him, but we know he's kind of been passed around from family member to family member. But we also know that with those passing of who he's sent to, he's kind of put in a good spot in town. He lives with Miss Rachel. He lives next to the Finches, right? We have the Radleys. The Radleys are kind of scary people. They don't come out and socialize. But we know the Radleys are someone that lives in town. Uh, you know, Atticus and Miss Maudie don't think there's that much to be afraid of, but obviously the kids are pretty freaked out about Boo Radley. And so that kind of looks in there. And we go back to our map here. We talk about the four that live in town, right? Obviously, they're all white. Obviously, they're pretty educated. And so we started there. Now, the next two, Cunninghams are a little Chuck. Well, you can go either way you want. Uh, the Cunninghams, on their end, they're poor. All right, they're farmers. Obviously, they're not very educated, but I think pretty highly of them just because of the way that they pay people back and they don't take what they can have. And little Chuck Little could go before the Cunninghams. I'm indifferent with that. We just don't know a lot about him. We just know he's from out in the country. We know he's a pretty dirty young man, and that's about all we know about him. All right, then we have the Ewells, and to kind of put in comparison here of where all the other white people live in town, right on the main strip. The Ewells live the closest to the Negro settlement. Obviously, this word in the 1930s wasn't used in a racist term, right? So that's why I'm saying that right here. But they live the closest to the town dump. All right. Obviously, they're not very highly thought of, right? And the only reason why they're in front of Calpurnia is based off of their race. That they're white and that they're able to hunt out a season. People just let them do it because, well, the kids need to be fed, right? We know that Mr. Ewell takes his relief check and spends it on alcohol. And then, of course, we have Calpurnia, who is an amazing woman. She's pretty much raising the kids as Atticus is away from the family at work. Obviously, Mr. Finch thinks super highly of her. He allows her to, kind of be the motherly figure for his children. But unfortunately, based off the color of Calpurnia's skin, she's number 8. And so I saw a lot of you guys, like you had put like Calpurnia at number 3 or number 4. She's at number 8, and it's all based off that. So Hopefully, that kind of helps you understand the social hierarchy. And that's that. And it is a Friday. It's 9:30 in the morning. So when you have that time, just go to YouTube, type in that Friday song, and play a little bit. You guys want me to do that for you? I'll help you out here. All right. So we go to YouTube, do a little screencast for you. We're gonna click on Friday. Come on, work with me. Friday. Here it is. You guys ready? What?
7 a.m. waking up in the morning, gotta get fresh, gotta go downstairs. Then I'm gonna have cereal, seeing everything that time gets going. Trick it on, everybody's rushing. Gotta get down to the bus stop.
My question: why is she at the bus stop if her friends pick her up? I don't get that. So, and you see me buckled in your seatbelt. Just want to let you know. But guess what, guys? I'll sing it to you one time. It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday. Everybody looking forward to. Not sure what you can do, coronavirus, but whatever works. Down on Friday. Looking forward to the weekend party and park. All right. I'll see you guys later. You can listen to the rest of the song when you have time, all right? Bye-bye.